Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Sorry for this late start. Let's get ourselves in the game. Tonight is our multiplayer stream from our Minecraft SMP. We're going to run that for a bit, and then drop into a super flat. We're going to run a super flat world for a bit and see how that holds up. We're kind of interested to see how a hardcore survival super flat would run. Now, we do know that there's I'm going to go to creative. Yeah, so we can zoom up and show, there's my bed. Where we got to last week. Okay, so last week we managed to finish the tents, at least, in the camp. We set out to set a couple of fires in front of a couple of the tents. We need to finish putting in the wall spikes. Then we need to put in watchtowers in the corners. The parapets at the gates, probably put a gate in on each side, and then externally we've got to put in the ditch, which we started over here. You can see it's a nice mud ditch, and we're going to obviously blend that into the environment. Then we're going to finish decorating interior. We'll get some banners up and running. Alright, so what we did do was we finished 3 wide. We'll go with a single width gate. So we'll have the gate here actually open. Okay, we've got copper grates. We used to have copper grates. We use that as like copper trapdoors. We use it as like they've tied it together with a rope. Top and there you go. That looks all right. I'm going to go and put all these in. Yep, there is quite a lot of And I'm going to definitely come around and do a ditch on this side as well. So I think last week when I was wondering what design I was going to use for the watchtowers, I'm going to use fences as like the lattice legs. I mean, I don't think well, they could be logged, I guess. Like I say, they're not going to be massive. Just probably 1 or 2 levels higher than the external wall. There we go. Alright, we're gonna, and I've got to also think about how I'm going to decorate these tents as well. Obviously, they're going to have bedrolls that are going to be placed. I think I've placed most of them already. Now, I did have jungle steps as the mangrove stairs. No, mangrove. I think I'll go back and use acacia. Would look a lot more appropriate, I think. Now, one of the options is I could always put a watch. No, that's too narrow for a watchtower. I can just put a straight ladder in though. And in fact, I'm surprised I didn't have a... Well, I was talking about it last time. This is only a temporary camp. So it's not going to have the substantive cookhouses and well-developed stables and the other infrastructure that a more permanent fort would have. This is merely a marching camp. Merely, he says. Harpop. Of course, I moved the ladder out of the way, didn't I? I'm thinking... see, the acacia looks a little too red. I almost think... What did I use? No, I did use acacia fencing. I was thinking more like an oak. Yeah, a log would be too substantial. No, they need to be fenced not walls. Legs. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 2 up. I'm going to go maybe 4. Two, 3, 4. Now, I would prefer to be able to slant the legs slightly, but that's not a thing. But what we will have is... No, not that. We're going to go with a tied off every 2. Like that. And I do think we need acacia slabs. And maybe acacia trapdoors. We don't have acacia walls, do we? No. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's too low. Needs to, well, I'll put the one in on top. Not that way, you idiot. Too high. Come on, place it properly. See, it's, don't jump off the edge. It's better. Trying to think. Because they're only 1 block high. Although it would actually be, I mean, you'd think crenellated. No. Go think about that. Oh, actually, one option now that we have them is shelves. I'm going to grab an acacia shelf, patch that off. See whether it's, I mean, it's mainly going to be decorative. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Oh yeah, that's better. Ladder's going to go there. And if we're going to go with the crenellations, crenellations. Let's have a look from the inside. Yes, you can jump over them. Pretty decent. I mean, if it was bigger, but I don't want it to be bigger. Oh, I can't put ladders on fences, can I? That would have been smart, wouldn't it? Well, maybe if I change Measure that for stripped acacia logs. Yeah, I mean, they look very substantive. The fence walls, the fence legs looked better, but I can't put ladders against them. Yep, okay, we'll go with that. I mean, at the same time, well, I'd almost argue that they need to be at the gates as well. I don't have the space. It'll be one, two, three, four. No, I don't. I didn't set up. I mean, unless I get rid of these first row of tents on each side. Let's just put them in the corners. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're going to put these across every 3. 1, 2, 3. Ladder was on the inside leg. Yes, it was. I want to be able to put torches, I guess, at the top of each one. I mean, hang, like, unit banners off them, too. That actually doesn't look too bad. Does not look too bad at all. Right, so let's put these ones in. Right there. What's that little light? Not a campfire. I can't put a campfire. A signal fire. They're not signal towers. I mean, they might give that. They might give that benefit, but they're not signal towers. which I do like those shelving crenellations, is it actually looks a little bit more, well, like what I understand the Roman type like wall crenellations to be, which were, I mean, it also helps with I guess medieval type as well, but I finish putting this one over here. We can put the ladders up, and then it's ladders. I know the word for it in a sec. Shelves. Of course, I get rid of the stripped log and I break a hole in it. Okay, so we've got the gates on, we've got the crenellations on, we've got the... Actually, the parapets in, and we've got our, not our signal towers, we've got our watch towers, that's the word I'm trying to think of. I think we could actually put some lanterns on, I think. Not sure how that's going to work. Guess we're about to find out. I'll put one on the top. Nope. You wouldn't have a fire at the top here. And a lantern isn't going to throw light. Okay, next problem is... I mean, we could do the interior decoration, but we're not. We're going to go do... mud. Okay, do I have... I do have my grass block. So in essence, the outer wall here, so the outer edge of the pit is... the pit... No, the dry moat is 3 high. And then of course it goes to 4 high on the inside. I need to then terrain and level, tidy it up. I'm going to blend it in. Terrain blending, that's the word I'm trying to think of. Now I'm going to terrain blend it. It's all way too regular there. I mean, it's still awfully straight. It's better though. Right, well, that corner looks good. I've got a, well, now this way is relatively straightforward. That's going to be the wall level on the right. So I've got dirt to that level. Difficulty is going to be blending it in out the back. I mean, we still... I mean, technically we... don't fall down. I mean, I could let it just fade down. I doubt they would have done all that many earthworks. We'll put them on a plateau and blend it down, I think. Got to put all the horses and stuff in yet. And carts and everything. I'm not sure how I'm going to represent carts. I've never actually built a cart in Minecraft. Alright, so we come down. One, two, 3. 1, 2. Bye, Mr. Skelly. Alright, that was the height, wasn't it? Okay, now we start having problems. One, 2, 3, 4, and the turn. and turn the corner. If I've got this right, I should be able to just run this straight up, if I've got it right. Ah, bang on. Good work, me. Ah, poop. I mean, I guess I could use a fill command to bring this all the way out. Don't go too fast. Now, there's a whole bunch of, like, Romanish... Romani? No, Romani's not right. Romanish. Roman style banners I could do up. Shouldn't be too complicated to do. I mean, as long as they're not going to be overly complex. It's usually a rectangle and some and a cross with a couple of circles. I mean, we're not planning on changing anything massively. Where was I? Over here. Maybe this terrain modification job is a little bit more than I might have expected. That should be fine. If we go to map, I mean, that looks, it's got the watchtowers, you can see the fence. Yeah, no, that's, I mean, it looks good on the map. It's half the trouble. Okay, there's obviously 1, 2, 3 down. Stuff like Mr. Skeltow. Alrighty. We're in. Perfect. Now we, well, not perfect as such. I think we will come back and finish this bit properly. Not quite sure how well, maybe. I'll say not quite sure how I'm going to make it work into the corner where it juts out over the water. Although, what I could... Ah, did it again. What I could do, I guess, is make it... like a set of cliffs. And turn the corner. Again, have a look. Yep, that's coming on. So yeah, I can blend down here easy enough. There and there should work. I would like to make a path so that just fades out. Maybe like a small dock, perhaps. Again, it's only a marching camp. It's not permanent. I mean, it's fairly permanent at the moment, given the amount of digging they've done. I still find it, I mean, I get what they say about them being marching camps and things like that, but it seems odd that they went to this much effort on a daily basis. It almost seems like it would take a day's worth of effort to do. I mean, maybe I just haven't understood the books I've read about Roman army conduct. Or... But again, not all marching camps and forts look like this. I mean, you got examples through, well, particularly the Middle East, because the remote forts there tended to stay undisturbed, and due to the environment, stay relatively well preserved. You get examples of different layouts and stuff. So the oasis that I built could almost actually, I think I've seen examples of forts in Egypt, or in the Sinai. Roman era, like built by the Romans, that weren't far off it. I mean, obviously they didn't have the onion domes and everything else, which is very much a Persian influence, I think. Well, actually, no, Byzantine influence, which was then picked up by others. Oh, idiot. I mean, yeah. Speaking of things I don't understand, I realised after last night's stream, which was Siberia, I went and during the stream I was like, first playthrough, doesn't appear to be any difficulty related trophies. I'll just pick, well, it's actually moderate, and go with that, and just play through. And then at the end of the stream, I went and double checked the trophy list, and it turns out there is a difficulty related trophy, which is the last trophy in the list. You got to beat the game on hard difficulty in less than 6 hours. Well, I spent 3 hours on it yesterday. Did muck around a bit and wasted a bit of time. And that was in normal mode. You can skip, well, speed up. Yeah, no, skip. Cutscenes and conversations. I don't know whether that counts in terms of play timer or not. But given I've got a recording of the first 3 hours of gameplay, I guess I can, when I go back and start it again next week, I can always just jump ahead the conversations in the first 3 hours and the cutscenes, because, well, I've already seen them and I've got a recording of them. Alright, next problem. Okay, so out to that corner works okay. I mean, that all looks good. Down here looks good and has been blended in relatively okay. Now I've got to add and blend in down here. That's what I'm going to reduce that down. Like that. Yep. And then continue this. Now, to be honest, I don't care whether there's mobs in the dry mode here. Well, damp mode. It's mud. Okay, not a cow. I mean, you'd almost wonder whether they'd make... well, you could put spikes in the bottom of it, I guess. That would be rather unpleasant. I mean, it's a deadfall. 3 meters of deadfall, and then you've got 4 meters of dirt, and then another 4 meters of timber. 5, if you count the spike on the top. You're not getting across that easily. I mean, you can get across it. You're not going to have a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, it's got to go all the way out this way. It helps that that's not too low over here. I mean, I could completely fill in the dirt underneath like I did when I did the country manor. I'm just trying to think what sort of stone it'd be. We've got desert over there, so that's sandstone. We've got mesa, badlands, so that's terracotta. We have stone. It's river and plains. No, it's plains, so it's going to be stone. We will make it normal stone then. I mean, the other thing I haven't really noticed. I mean, okay, I haven't noticed. I could be completely wrong about my expectation for it, but I would have thought there'd be a well. Well, a well. Some sort of water source within the camp. Unless they send foraging parties out, which entirely possible. Or they stop and refuel as they finish their march. Or as they approach camp. Alright, I want stone. Well, I don't want stone, but I need stone. Stone. Bit of sand, too. Natural blocks, stand. There we go. Okay, so we're going to bring cliff face. I mean, if you did have a cliff face here, you would expect a couple of bits of this to be stone as well, to be honest. Peters out. That actually doesn't look too bad. Kind of fits. I won't say it completely fits. Yeah, I think that fades out well enough. You have to fade these in. I mean, it is looking very steep. Still. But not much I can do about that. I mean, by the very nature of the fact I've had to cut through the terrain, it's going to be very straight-edged. It's not the end of the world that I've had to build it up slightly. And again, out here's not too bad. It's as we get into this corner that we have a problem. Or more of a problem. How's that look? Terrible. Perfect. Well, not perfect. Here we go. Just fill in this soil level. Well, that tiny little patch looks relatively organic. That's not turning out too bad. I mean, it still looks ridiculously straight. I mean, you can tell when I've done bits. For handcrafted, and I don't normally build terrain, I don't think it's too bad. Really could be worse. Gee, speaking of worse, I'm going to do that. Super flat soon. What time is it? Yep. Now the difficulty is going to be blending this in with the rest of the terrain. I mean, we've got one long side completely done. And we've got big chunks of the other long side and one of the short sides done. It's this one more than anything else which seems to be the problem. Seems to be. G'day, Andre. How are you, mate? But yes, diggy, 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 diggy. Well, actually, no, the reverse of digging. I'm placing. Only because I've put in an army camp, a Roman-style marching camp, in a space where part of the terrain didn't support it. So I've now got to blend in the outside of this dry moat to make it all fit. I have, but the point of this server is for everybody else to be playing it normally. I can fill, I did do fill and stuff like that, but to be honest, I've never really worked with those tools much. I mean, I've had a look occasionally and I'm like, I'm not really in a lot of places where there's a lot of terrain modification required. So the occasional setup like this where I have to do modification. Whereas something like, where am I looking? Something like this didn't require a lot of terrain modification. There's a little bit of leveling out the back, but the platform was pretty close. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that if I'm going to make the mistake, I'm going to make the mistake properly. I mean, here I did all the underneath manually. Still remember how long it took me to flatten this platform because there was a massive hill in the way. The other big builds I've done, that was largely okay. It was this corner that backed into a hill that needed to be carved back. That was largely flat. That was pretty flat as well. There's the path. This one, I had to carve the walls back slightly. The castle that's in the cave here was mostly okay. Yeah, well, I ignore those people. What's the other big build I did recently? So I've been, in fact, I went back and tidied up. I went back and tidied up one of my builds. Oh, I added, come up here. I added this, not that, turn around. Pass fort as well. Which, that was okay. I only had to carve back a little bit. And so, because there's not massive amounts of terrain fixing that need to be done, like even this was replacing a bridge I already had, and the most I had to do was fix up a little bit around this tower here. To be honest, there's not massive amounts of... Well, yeah, I had the design for it. Well, I had a map that I downloaded, a map design, and realised I actually had a really good place for this fortress in the past. And then I realised I had another... They call it a border bridge because the intent is each end of the bridge is basically a different country / whatever. I had a bridge that I could redesign to fit it. It's like I'm not sure if you've seen everything. Let me run through the builds I've done. So the first of the modern-ish builds I did was down here, where I started doing a bunch of Scottish-style tower houses. So Coxton Tower, and they didn't translate that well to Minecraft scale. You know, 1 cubic meter blocks sort of makes things either look really squat or just don't fit the thing that well. So that actually, I think that fits rather nicely in the environment. Then there's another one. I forget, I couldn't track down what the name of it was. You just follow the river up over the mountain. It's on the other side of the mountain here. Regain the path. Down towards the ice. Here you go. So, I mean, that looks... That all fits in. And, I mean, they're all got interiors and everything else. He says that and he doesn't have anything to demonstrate. And they don't have a lot of windows and stuff because, well, Scottish tower houses, defensive tower houses. I forget the name of that. It's like two of them glued together. And then after that, I had this grand plan. Oh, that I came up here and did... Where is she? Over here. Again, I had a design and discovered that not all designs translate very well to Minecraft scale. It kind of works, and especially if you're trying to fit a color palette and you don't have blocks that have stairs or slabs, you're kind of screwed. And so this is actually based on Chateau de Chenonceau. And in fact, there's like a small dock here under the thing. And I mean, again, this is all furnished and decorated and everything like that. So once I got that out of the way, and I thought, okay, well, that kind of worked and looks all right. And that took ages because, yeah, I put it over the top of beach, and it went, these pillars go all the way to, yeah, lukewarm ocean. It's rather deep. Yeah, it is basically Castle de Blé. Blé is a good name for it. And then once I got that under my belt, I had the design for Pajama Castle. And while I didn't have the elevated cave that I wanted, took me ages to make my mind up for a good enough cave entrance for it. And also the actual castle, if it was built properly, this would be a straight bit and these would be diagonals. But I had to try and make it fit, and it does fit quite well. It's got all the various rooms to a rough design. We've got toilets out the back. There's the stairs up here out the back to the special tower. I think this was, and then there's like cave entrances out the back to run away and hide and all that. It was, this was an interesting build. I enjoyed that, and the fact it's a castle hidden in the cave. You sort of don't see it until you stumble on it. And then after that, I turned around and built this, which the design I've took it from is called 5 Arches. And that was actually kind of interesting trying to replicate it. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th large arch. These pillars, again, go all the way to the bottom and are solid. And then you got basically ground level straight through, and then an upper floor, and then a lower floor that's mostly storage, but there's an inn and stuff. And yeah, getting this to fit the design of the map that I was looking at was interesting. There's like a little chook shed there, and they've got their little gardens, and there's security checkpoints at each end. You've got a small chapel and everything else, and then you've got a really fancy tower part. And yeah, I actually think this one, as difficult as it was to build, and it took me ages to do, actually turned out really quite well. And then you got nominally a well, but this took ages to do, and there were a bunch of semi-shortcuts I had to do, again, because the design I was looking at did not allow for walls that were 1 meter thick. And I guess I can put people in them and stuff like that. Then once I did that, what was the next build after that? This one, which is a massive manor country house. So again, you've got perimeter walls, so it's almost colonnaded slash, oh, what's the term for them? Cloistered, almost cloistered. You got a few stables, you got storage rooms, you got bedrooms outside as well. Obviously got formal gardens, got a whole bunch of rooms on that side as well, and then you come into the main house. You got fancy rooms off each side and whatever else. Then when I did that, I went ahead and built this one, which was then the build. Halfway through the build, I got the server updated to 121.11. And this has got, obviously there's a couple of floors of stuff there. There's a tower of stuff here. There's a cave entrances. There's storage and stuff. There's a little pond and, outdoor storage and stuff. That turned out quite well. First time I've used mud brick for roofing. And trying to get the walls to work well. Well, I think they did. And then I tidied up that bridge. Then I came out here and built the oasis. With an actual oasis in the middle, and you got the fancy rooms out the back. Then you got like sitting rooms and everything else, and storage rooms. And we've got our camels hanging out. Yep, a couple over the other side. And yeah, so this, again, I've been working my way through a bunch of designs. Basically, they're tabletop RPG game maps. And I'm nearly finished that set of maps. And then the marching camp. And this one, because of the size, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I couldn't work out where to put it on the way to the Roman style build, because there was nowhere that was flat enough and big enough, and it would have had to go in about here, and I couldn't find the necessary sized space between, because it would have been halfway between World Spawn and the Roman build site. So yeah, well, I come back here. So yeah, I've decided, well, I'll actually put it in on the way to the NPC, the Department of NPC Affairs, which is out here. And of course I built that a little while back too. Yeah, so I've got a few more builds to go in, which are probably going to go, I was going to say I don't have too many over here. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 builds. Over here, updated builds, I've got 1, 2 updated builds. Down here I got 1, 2, 3, and I got 2 down here. So there's a couple of other things I'm looking at putting in, probably around out here somewhere, or extending the paths and maybe building some stuff out this way. Again, the idea is that you're walking along the paths or riding along the paths, and you're going to encounter things. So yeah, you come along the path on the way to the Department of NPC Affairs, and you're going to come across a marching camp, which I should staff with people and put banners up and things like that. As it is, I'm just working on fixing the terrain. And yeah, so like you saw that, I don't remember putting those mushrooms there. It's not the end of the world that I'm not using World Builder or things like that, because it's not, you can use those sort of apps to, like, rapid build. I mean, I am in creative, but to cut and paste buildings and designs into World. And I think that's a way to, not just easy, but defeats a lot of the purpose of building. I mean, at least I'm building it block by block. And the design, I mean, I might have a paper design I'm looking at, or an actual mapped design I'm looking at, but the actual build and interpretation is taking place as you see it here in Minecraft. Now, I've seen, so for example, with the Hermit Crafters, a whole bunch of them will use, not World Builder, it's one of those type mods to do designs in their own creative worlds and then bring them into the Minecraft world, so into the Hermitcraft server, and basically they bring across the worked template. I don't think what it's called. A fairly famous mod. Can't think what it's called again. And yeah, it's a matter of cut and paste at that point. And it's like, well, okay, I get you've put the effort in your creative server. And given how easy resources are in the Hermitcraft server, it's like, are you really building at that point? Okay, that, again, that looks relatively organic. There's a couple of big builds I've got coming up. I had a chat to, again, another map designer, who also does some of their own Minecraft builds and stuff. And I had a chat to him because I found that his maps, his tabletop maps, actually look like they translate far better to the Minecraft world. And he's given me permission to use his designs where I see fit. Well, as I see fit. And he's got an absolute mountain of an archive of them. And one of the ones that caught my eye is actually a flooded, what do you call it? Flooded cathedral, I think. And the gist of it, from what I can tell from the map, is it's a cathedral type setup in a cavern. In a half-flooded cavern. So where you'd be looking at it, okay, I mean, you're not going to look at it here. Would maybe be something like, where's the big mountainy bits? Yeah, so like, okay, let's go over here. So for example, you might have a water cave like this, although coming off an ocean. But it then extends in, and the bulk of the build is actually at water level and pushing back in. So this would open up into a cathedral type thing with pews and religious iconography type setup. And the gist you could pick up a storyline just by looking at the map would be some sort of drowned or half drowned cult. And like the only way you can get in is via water. And you can imagine what they'd be working towards in there. And then you've got like ruined castles and things like that. But yeah, that was something which caught my eye on one of his designs straight away. And it's like, oh, I could work with that. And he also has a massive dungeon that he's been piecing together for years. And I think he's up to like the 27th individual map that contributes to it. And you can imagine, if I was to put it in the game here, okay, I think if I zoomed out to this level, it would be, and I'd have to obviously dig down to avoid getting flooded and everything else. I haven't measured it out, but you could imagine finding like a cave entrance that then expands into something that's like a couple of thousand blocks in each direction of one big subterranean dungeon that has multiple levels as well. I mean, I've seen and played with some mods that do similar sort of things, And their designs are pretty cool, but they're sort of cut and pasted into the world. And in fact, on one of them, I actually spent... Oh, we played it in another SMP server. And I spent... Ooh, it would have been 6 weeks of sessions renovating it. And so it was built out of stone. Stone? Yes. So I repaired it with cobble? No, it wasn't cobble. I repaired it with something such that it complemented the stone bricks that it was built from, but it was clear that this was repair. And yeah, because of the size and scope of it, it took me 6 weeks in game to do it. Plus, obviously, there are mobs everywhere. And in the end, it was fantastic. There were, again, several levels. I think it definitely went down to Deep Slate. And it had all sorts of interesting features. And then, obviously, once it was repaired and lit up properly, I brought the other players in to have a look. And there were, like, dungeons within the dungeon. Like there was actually almost an oubliette. I mean, there were several oubliettes. There was a couple of actual lock-up dungeons, labs, torture chambers, libraries, barrack rooms, all this sort of stuff. That, again, it was pretty cool just in the design that the mod developers had. But I then went through and fully renovated it and turned it into something fantastic. But this map design that this map designer, has created is absolutely enormous. But there's thousands of designs I now have permission to incorporate or adjust to fit a Minecraft world. So one of the other things I was thinking of when I was finishing all these above ground builds was if your path goes past something like this hill, for example, and you see a door set into the side of the cliff, or what looks like a cave entrance, or like a mine entrance, that would then lead to something that's a substantive build, or a nice subterranean build. But I haven't got to that. I've got these above ground builds to do yet. And again, these are part of providing that lived-in world experience and feeling for other players when they come onto the server. And I was actually thinking about, towards the end, or once I've done most of the builds and I'm happy with things, doing a couple of videos dedicated, well, they'll be dedicated streams, but also for the point, or for the intention of creating a bunch of videos for YouTube of the builds. I won't do them of the player builds because, well, the players have their own... I'm not going to steal their thunder. But of the builds that I put in and, the intent behind them. I don't have, like, in-game lore or, stories behind them. But I think it's pretty self-evident what a lot of these things are. Still wish I could, will still put NPCs in around the place at some point. I missed your comment about Vintage Story. I do have, I'm not playing Vintage Story myself at the moment, but I know some people who, I introduced to Minecraft. I didn't tell them about Vintage Story. They found that of their own accord. And they're actually playing it multiplayer with a bunch of friends. And I'm like, they're still... I don't know how much they're using wikis to work out what to do, but from talking to them, it doesn't sound like they're doing it at all. So they're having fun finding out things. I mean, I've seen long plays and stuff on YouTube of people who, well, are very, very skilled at vintage story. And I've got to say, the gameplay loop in it is a lot more, well, I won't say more involved. Anyone who's played vintage story knows the game's involved. Is a lot more developed. And the gameplay, okay, it's not necessarily polished, but there is the ability to actually play and nominally complete a game in it. And I was admittedly very surprised that there was that sort of a loop. It'd be a bit like, well, it is a bit like when I went back to 7 Days to Die. I was an early Kickstarter backer for them. I think they were on Kickstarter. And the gameplay loop in probably the first 12 months there was very, very different to what the gameplay loop in 7 Days to Die is now, or has been in the last couple of years. And so I went back to it thinking, oh yeah, I can stream this, only to find, at least for somebody who hasn't updated their skills in-game since the early days, it is not solo player friendly. And there's a lot of mechanics that I had no idea about. And they'd nerfed a bunch of stuff and obviously added in a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, this is not the game that I know. It's a bit like, I guess, Terraria players. Anyone who played Terraria early on, okay, you can kind of still get that gameplay experience now. But what you get out of Terraria, or what Terraria gives you and you can do to get to the end of it, is quite different to what it was. I mean, whereas something like Stardew Valley is largely what it always has been. Largely. Alright, so we will finish, looking at the timing, we will try and finish off this side. And I was going to say, this is splash, splash, splash. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's clearly a straight line at the top. It's not too bad. I mean, you can tell some idiot threw that together. It's somewhat organic. Something organic made it. Well, I think I'm organic. I'm locally sourced. Single origin. Well, actually, no, I'm not single origin. There we go. Well, go. There we go. You'd never know that was... Well, yes, you would. Okay, so that's that side done. Yay! Come around this side and do a bit of this side. So, for those late joining, the intent from here, well, apart from continuing to finish these builds in-game, tonight, I'm going to start a hardcore super flat world. Now, anyone who's started a super flat in Minecraft over any time in the last, well, several years will know that you tend to get these massive, especially if you leave mobs on, and I mean, I'm going to be doing it hardcore mode, so there will definitely be mobs. You get a lot of slimes. a lot of slimes. Now, in part, that's, well, you're getting slime chunks around you, which, again, is no different to normal Minecraft map gen, world gen. But the difference being, because you're looking at it as a super flat, the world gen is down at, I think it's like minus 56 or something like that. So your slimes are well and truly going to spawn within. So there's a couple of tricks you can do you can half slab the world, or you build up, or you tell the world gen to gen at Y40 or something like that, so that you're not overwhelmed by slimes. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it gen in as it does. What I'm planning on doing is probably taking a level of dirt and moving it up. So leaving the ground floor, leaving the world spawn level where it is, but then generating a platform elevated in the sky where I am then safe from slimes, because even if I continue to build at whatever level it is that the world map gens at, I'm going to be plagued by slimes no matter what, and it's going to impinge my ability to build, because I'm not going to be able to have ready access. Well, I'm going to have slime defensive capabilities, or slime defeating capabilities, everywhere, and that's going to get in the way of builds. But villages and everything else will spawn in at the bottom level. Now, if I build up, make a platform at, say, Y40, I should be able to get what are they? Wandering traders and the like to appear, because they spawn in and out. I should be able to get wandering traders to appear up on my build platform. And in which case, you're almost turning it not quite into a sky block or a one block type map, but not far off it. I mean, because at that point, you got to bring all your resources up. And I've played a couple of super flats in SMPs before, and we actually got all the way into the nether. I don't think it's possible to get to the end. I don't think there's any way to generate an end portal. I don't think there's any end portal blocks you can get from anyone. I don't recall being able to craft them, but I will have a look. Things may have changed. But I'm not necessarily playing it to beat the game. I'm playing it because, well, I want to see how long I can survive and what sort of builds I can come up with in a super flat, in a hardcore mode. So, not just tying one hand behind my back, tying several hands behind my back. And then encouraging some slimes to show up. How are we looking? Quasi-organic. So here, we want to bring this down, down, into a path. Well, that's clearly a path. I'm actually tempted to put in like lanterns on each side. Actually, a torch. Yeah, that works. Okay, so before we do that, I'm just going to come over here and bring this down. Bring it down over here, I think. Move it, piggy. The other way. Yeah, the other thing for people who join a little more recently is I started streaming Siberia last night and made the comment that there's no difficulty related trophies, so I'm going to pick medium difficulty and go with that. Yeah, I get to the end of the night, finish packing everything up, and thought I'll just double check the trophy list, see whether the trophies I popped have shown up on the tracker. And in doing so, well, answer was no, because I didn't actually refresh the trophy list from the console. What did show up was knowledge of the fact that there is a difficulty-related trophy, and it's actually a speedrun trophy. So, yes, expect me to restart Siberia next Friday. And not just that, we're going to blitz our way through on the hardest difficulty through the first 3 hours of the game. It's not going to be 3 hours as such, because it's also about you can expedite your way through cutscenes and conversations. So we will be doing that till we get up to the point I got to last night. Yep, that works, I think. Move it, piggy. I'll make this task next week's problem. So that works okay. There's plenty of pigs in my mud pit. That side looks okay. The gates look good. The watchtowers look good. That looks fine if you shut your eyes. The stone outcropping at the end looks fine, again, if you shut your eyes. And I've just got this side to fix up. That path looks okay. That wall's been closed. Yeah, I reckon that it'll be a lot easier to blend in. Actually, I think that's going. Did I get rid of the? I was going to say, did I get rid of the bed? And then I'm going to put in all the various accoutrements in that I'm missing in here. I've got like the technically to be at the foot of the bed or the head of the bed, but I didn't make these design changes. So yeah, we're going to have backpacks. We've got all the sleeping rolls out. Got a couple of campfires that aren't lit. All that sort of stuff. Then you're going to have weapons not lying around. I was thinking of putting cauldrons over these fires, but the framework to support them would be too high. I mean, a cauldron hanging from a chain would be great. And then I'm going to decorate the command tent and the CO's tent. Bring in horses and everything else. I mean, we did do a bit tonight. So, yeah, look, we're going to just save there. All right, we're going to disconnect. The game's going to panic. Give me half a second. I just realised I left a setting unchanged. All right, if you give me half a sec, I'll just put it in the chat. Put some tunes on. All right. What did I forget to set? That's right. All right, we're ready. Well, not quite ready. Nearly ready. So, super flat. Hardcore, create new world. I've been thinking about it for a bit. Okay, so hardcore. I'm going to actually name them super flat number 1. RSG, world type. Super flat. We're not going to customize. We're going to leave it as is. Structures on, bonus chest off. What we're going to do is, I was thinking, how do you access the resources? Because anybody who's played a super flat, you get grass, dirt, and bedrock. So one of the things I need to start with is a cobble generator. Everything else is going to have to be traded for. So I'm going to have to get a trading hall set up rather quick. And I'm going to have to find nearby villages to hopefully get emeralds so I can start trading with wandering traders. I would prefer to do this in 26.1.2, but I haven't got the ability to get all the mods updated. So since this is the version I'm running for the SMP server, I may as well go in with the same mod pack. So that means we're going to have maps, which is, I think that's an acceptable trade-off. But everything else, and we're playing a hardcore, so deep breath. Right, let's go. Now, I tried this offline on a 26.1.2. Straight into a village. Beautiful. Okay, go away message. I've got to change my setup in I've got to change the setup in the mini-map to more effectively render hostiles and friendlies and everything else. Now, iron golems go nuts chasing slimes. But this is a good start. It means I get beds. I got somewhere relatively safe to spend early nights. Thank you very much. Bread, a bundle. I got a potato, and I got an apple. Book's fine. I will take that though. Thank you very much. I'm not going to be building in the village because, again, villages will attract hostiles, so that you will still get zombies and everything else spawning at the appropriate point. Okay, and I got saplings, which is good. Let me grab some flowers. I mean, I can bone meal flowers in. You, get in your room. Either that or get in the oh, hello kitty. Okay, wheat. I'll grab that. Carrots. I'll grab those. wheat, carrots, beetroot. I got potatoes. You got beetroot? No. I hear... Okay, slime balls. Plenty of slime balls. Okay, nothing in there. In you go, kiddo. There's one trapped. Oh, another village over there. Plenty of kitties. Get away. Okay, emeralds are good. So when we do see a wandering trader, I can start trading. In fact, what I will do is I will set up a... Alright, I need... Alright, we're going to take ourselves a wood sword. I mean, I'd prefer not to, but hey, whatevs. I will need a wood pickaxe. And I would prefer an axe, but I can do without it. I don't want a shovel just yet. Pickaxe will get me across the line. Surprise! Get away, get away, get away now. I will be stealing a bed now. Ooh, you are a library. Okay, so I got a kid locked up in one. You're number 2. I have food. I have a place to sleep. I've secured... I mean, I could tear that place down and get stone. There's the nitwit. No, go away. Cleric. Eric the cleric? Alright, I will safely lock you away as well. Let me double check. Yep, you're in there. Got it. Okay. What I need... Well, I need a lot of things. What I really need is a... well, this village will be dismantled in due course. What I really need is a... the name for it. Blacksmith. Yes. Leather workers aren't too bad as well. They will get me potentially a saddle. But I need a blacksmith because the blacksmith will have lava and iron. And I want to take down that house. I'm going to tear one of these houses down. In fact, I'm going to tear multiple of these houses down. You guys will be rewarded at some point. Okay, so we now have ourselves a stone pick. We are going to wear out this on purpose. Now what I want to do is actually get this village locked up as tight, as safe as possible. The one thing you really do find hard to get is sand. And sand generators that I know of require an end portal, which we don't have. And sand to begin with. Okay, what can I build? Get off that first. Okay, I've got my stone pick. We're going to get a stone sword. We're going to go a stone axe. Yeah, kind of. I'd had a when I was looking at making the trying to get the server up to 26.1.2, I do have 26.12 running as well, just not with the mod pack. I was playing. I decided I'd play a super flat. You know, as annoying as they are, and I had a bit of fun with it and realised, I mean, it's fun being in the SMP and building and doing all those bits and pieces and everything else. It's also fun to do other things from time to time. And I'd always found the super flats, especially when I played them in other SMPs, kind of fun. And I've seen, there's a YouTuber, I can't remember his name, I'm sure someone will tell me, who is rather famous for having a very lengthy super flat world. In fact, I think he's still building in it. That he's been building and playing for years. And I thought, well, if I can play hardcore on a super flat. Yeah. So I thought, if I can play hardcore on a super flat, and the more I thought about it was, when I played the SMP in the super flat, we got ourselves into the nether. Legit. And there's some interesting choices you have to make along the way. And I thought, well, I've not played hardcore on a super flat before. I was wondering how that would go as an experience. Well, which is what we're working on. Yeah, they will. They should be. Where is the bed I stole? Right there. Do I have enough dirt? No, I don't have dirt. Yeah, so I've seen his builds and stuff. Now, I don't know. I don't think he's used command blocks or anything like that. Or, I mean, as far as I'm aware, he's done everything legit. But yeah, I'd be well, I want to see how far I can go with a hardcore super flat. Now, if I'm just going to be building and stuff like that, I actually do like the terrain changing. Get away, get away, get away. Move. Two. There. And yeah, the whole point of like doing it with mobs turned on and everything. So you gotta adjust to the slimes, as annoying as they are. Nope, get away. Yeah, you guys are just cute. You don't hurt, do you? You do. Alright, I'm going to run past my spawn point. Yeah, so if I can get a the world lasting for a lengthy period of time, well, I'd be very pleased with myself, and then very upset when it crashes out. But, okay, I know there's another village over there. But yes, you guys are going to be dismantled for your resources. But I'm going to plant my trees, and there's another village straight ahead. Oh, you've got a... Well, you've got a library. Yeah, so, like we said, we were experimenting in that SMP world how to, I guess, play and survive and thrive in a super flat. And we were actually doing quite well. We had 5 players. Yeah, 5 players. And so a couple of them built tiny little, very, very secure farms. Another couple worked out that if you built up, then you controlled what was around you, but they tended to die a lot by falling off things. And I built, yeah, I went way up in order to try and get above the spawning level. Had a big tree farm in the end. And then once you got to that point, there's like the game, like I said, sort of switches back over to right, they can stay there. I didn't actually set a waypoint, did I? No. Do I want... Well, I do. Oh, what was... I forgot to check your trades. Whoops. Okay, so we got 2 villages. Where is my starting point? Ah, there. Alright, set waypoint. Spawn. Alright. So, being a hardcore world, I have my rules, which is I have to base where I spawn. Now, I'm not going to be building... Am I? I don't think... Well, I'm not thinking. That's generally a... get away. Just trying to think. Will I build the same same base I do in every hardcore world? Probably not. Because I can't go down, and farming down won't be beneficial. You there, what have you got for me? You can do 6 to yes, you are good. I like you. Let me lock you in. Get back. You stay in there. You stay safe. Oh, there's a... I was going to say another Fletcher. No, that's a loom. I've been and had a look over there. Over this side. So, I actually had, in this other one that I was testing in 26.1.2, I was fortunate enough to find... I've been in here. Fortunate enough to find a blacksmith that had several iron bars. I ended up with armor as well. Mine it was leather. Get away from me. Leather armor. And I was able to generate, because it was and now I have all the crops. Because it was a blacksmith, it had the lava blocks outside, source blocks. So I was able to make a cobble gen while I was there. At least until I got enough iron to make a bucket, and then bring the iron back and take water from the well. And so I had, well, actually from a farm, so I had a permanent water source. I had a cobble generator. I was slowly building up my farms and stuff. Actually, okay, so I am short. You can go in there. You can go in there. You can go in there. Okay, carrot, potato, beetroot, wheat seeds. Okay. Never have too many chests. No one else is going to use them. Okay, that was not as planned. Right, I like this. I like this village for now. Oh, 2? Yes. Nice. Okay, so we have a lava source. We don't have a bucket. Nope. And we'll have a fancy hat, though. Thank you for giving me a fancy hat. Thank you for giving me more bread. And a saddle. Saddles are good. Leads. See, now... the other thing, too, I was thinking of is... Well, okay, so... How then do you get string and things like that? Well, you can make a mob gen. A mob... Yeah, a mob farm easy enough. By building up. I mean, that's straightforward enough. I think I haven't been in and looked at the loom. It's getting dark. And scary. No, you idiot. Yeah, as long as I mean, I've got a bed, so that's solving a lot of problems for me. What are you? You're another Fletcher? No one's at this job site. Thank you very much. Right, what do we have up here? I can't make a bucket from gold. I mean, I can make armor from gold. Guess I could maybe break down my iron. Another village up there. I don't know if I checked that one out. No, look, right there. See? No, right there. Okay, we're going to go south. We're getting out of here and running straight south. I'll borrow one of these first, though. 2 of these. Alright, south is that direction. I'm going to go past our basing location. Throw down some... chests, throw some stuff in the chests, and then keep moving on. I really need iron for a bucket, or I need to... And here's how I did it the first time, before I got the iron for the buckets, was I was able to redirect the lava into a nearby water supply, and likewise, and therefore make a cobble gen that way. There's plenty of horses. Horses are nice. You, get away from my trees. You, get away from my trees. Now, this is a local game, so I'm not going to be impinged by... Give me that back. Give me that back. I'm not going to be impinged by server lag. Well, there will be server lag because it does do it internally. I do know that. Oh, you're a donkey. I could give you a chest. I could have a Serdongsolot. I have a chest. I have a saddle. I don't have a lead though. I offloaded my... Good job, me. I offloaded my bundles. I was going to say, and my timber? No, not my timber. You're a stone cutter. You're a farmer. Oh, no bundle. Alright, what do you got for me? I can go to the net. Well, how do I light it? That's problematic. A little. There are ways to do it, and you can do it with a bucket of lava, which is how we lit it in our other world. There's water there. I can actually redirect that, which is great. I can definitely go to the nether. You a library? You are. Nothing for me in there. Try not to walk blindly into things. Okay, well, I got a decent food supply. Okay, no problem. I have 0 iron. Okay, so we're going to come back and sort of set up something of a camp. Okay, so we're going to... I think that's too far. Now, if I've done this even remotely right... Yay! Hey. Okay, now that is something I need to fix. So I'm just going to go in here. Mods. IPN is giving me issues. That's inventory profiles next. That's that one. Change settings. Okay, we are going to turn auto refill off. Okay, refill armor before it breaks. No, replace tools before they break. No. Yep, done. Alright, so what I'll do while I'm here then is, you can grow there. Okay, we're gonna just camp here for a bit. But what I will do is I'm gonna take this stuff and we're gonna make ourselves a bunch of fences. I do. Because fences are good for keeping ourselves safe. And it also means when we have our donkey slash you get away. Right, okay, what I might do is... have you guys got a tree here? You do, alright. We're going to borrow that. And this one. Alright, so in the absence of iron... Wrong one. You trade for iron? No. Iron tools. No, I can't break it down. Can I break it down on a grindstone? No. Break you down though, can't I? No. Start making charcoal, but I think the priority is going to be these fences. Let's see. I can make a gate. Alright, we're going to take all of you, make 3, 4, 5. I'll make a bunch of fences. That should be enough. At least secure my site. You growing up yet? Nope. Where are you? Let's at least mark this site. Right there is create waypoint. Cobble gen. Alright, so we're now at least partially self-sufficient. I should be able to plant some sort of crops. I mean, they're not going to grow that well. And they're going to run every risk of despawning. Oh, I see one tree's come up. I want a donkey with a chest and the saddle. And I will also want to take at least one horse. I'm going to secure my spawn first. I'm not going to muck around getting on horses and donkeys just yet. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Okay, partially safe, partially secure. You put gate in there. Right. More chests. Offload. Oh, hang on to one of those. Offload them. Offload them. I've already got an... I do have my helmet on. Offload that. Keep that. Offload that. Offload that. Oh. No. No saplings. Well, we're going to focus on finishing this. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Helps if I... Well, actually, come to think of it, we're going to push out. Alright, now I did not retain any logs. Push for a donkey, I think. I think we're gonna just, yep, nope, down. Have a look at the map. Okay. No hints of anything else further down there or along there. There is up there to the north. I could start building. How do I turn? There's only one crop there. Two there. I can't turn any of those into a permanent water source. Yeah, I gotta be careful because the slimes do like to sneak up on me. So did I keep? I didn't keep my saddle out, and I will take one chest. I will take an empty bundle. Wait a second, hang on. 1.7, 7.56, 1.7, 7.56. Alright, you're all the same. Ah, poop. Hooray! Okay, settle on. Now, you're a donkey, right? Here we go. Look at you! Yeah, I know you're not the greatest steed of all, but you're my steed. Okay. So, look, we not even an hour in. I did have a timer mod that used to appear on the map, on the screen. Piggies. Okay, so we have been through here. Okay, we've got ourselves a start. A start. In fact, is that a 2x2? It is a 2x2. Okay. In fact, I can spread you everywhere. That's an option. I think I can. Alright, dirt. Sorry, blooms. Stone cutter. Generic. I think there's a chest upstairs. Mm-hmm. So even if I had a cauldron, for example, I don't think it would help. Because to my last recollection, it doesn't actually expedite. Well, it won't fill in the rain because this isn't bedrock. Be nice if we had that. Okay, so I go due west. What do we got? A variety of tall houses. Leatherworkers. I can pick up a cauldron. But last time I left a cauldron out in the rain on a map like this, it did not fill. Alright, sit on slot, in you get. Be good. Pants and a bundle. Some pants on. Indeed. Dripstone would be good too. Okay, so I've got 2 cauldrons. I mean, I'm probably just writing the odds here of, well, getting to a blacksmith that has an iron bucket. So I did pick it up from their that's a cartographer. I mean, I could get lucky. I could, well, get unlucky. Wait for a zombie to spawn in. And then, well, yeah, wait for some hostiles to spawn in that are known to drop ingots at some point. And just hope like crazy. Okay, you're a stone cutter. That I'm lucky enough to pick up an iron bucket, because at the moment I can't plant anything. Well, lucky enough, another blacksmith. Yes. Yes. No, I didn't bring a bed. Oops. I do hear a zombie though. Not a sound I want to hear. Excuse me. I'm going to borrow that for just a second. Yoink. Did I bring a... No, I didn't. You guys don't need trees. Where did I leave Sir Dongsolot? He was out this way, wasn't he? Nope. Where did I put you? Ah, you're over there. Now, the other thing I can do too, now that I've got, well, I have enough beds. I probably could have, no I couldn't, I didn't have a bucket. I was going to say I could have made an iron farm. Well, how am I going to place the water if I don't have a bucket? Alright, so we have trees. We have iron. We're an hour in. We'll keep going for a little bit longer. So we have the ability now to have water and lava buckets. Good job, Sir Donsalot. Alright, I could go with 2 buckets. We'll go with 1 for now. Copper horse armor. I can't put that on you, can I? You're a donkey. Can I put that on you? No, you don't have an armor slot. Offload that, offload them. Alright, let's have a look. Where was that cross-shaped water supply? It was there, straight north. Now the fact it's a cross-shaped water supply, well, I can get it from the town well as well. I can definitely get myself a permanent water supply out of this. The other part too is I can always so the priority after this will be timber and planting crops. So I should be able to spread out. And I guess securing my home site. Timber, crops, cobble gen obviously. And then I can, once I get the crops up and running, I can then start thinking about there we go. I'll put you in down there. Okay, there we go. We got a good water source. Let me just... I'm going to go get a bucket of lava next. And I'll drop this... well, break this sword. Yep, you little guys are fine. Come on, Sir Donsalot. Let's go get some lava. Blah, blah, blah. Now, let's have a get away from that for a sec. Where was the closest lava? There was lava down there. And lava up there. What's closest? Down there. We're going to head for... a cobble gen. The other thing we need to do with timber that we haven't done yet is we need to start on our need for charcoal. We can't generate, well, coal doesn't generate. Maybe trade for it, but chances are we could be waiting a very, very long time for that. Ow. Yoink. Done. Oh, my tree grew. So we're not going to have glass windows unless I somehow get silk touch, at which point I can go and rescue all the glass panes. There's that house I've half demolished. If I get string, how do I get string? I wait for spiders to spawn. I spend... Well, see, now that I've got the ability to say secure, I can stay up at night. I can then wait for mobs to spawn in. I can make a shield. My iron is very... precious to me right now. Let's put that in there. Let's put that in there and think about it for a bit. Focus is going to be on... gently pushing this out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Did I lose my gate? I must have. Could make shears. I could. Not going to though. Better put my cobble There. Now there should be 8. There is. Fantastic. Now, the benefit of 8 is it'll smelt me an entire stack. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. 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 Owie. Make a second bucket now. Maybe. A decent food supply. I do need a plant. So, at best, I've only got 3 levels below me. Think. Alrighty. Owie. Actually, I've got a cauldron. Just put the I put the lava in the cauldron. Duh. Nice and safe. Right, let's set about making our farmland. Alright, let's everything. Where did I say I was going to put it? It's going to go south. Actually, I might go east because west. That way, west. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's not wide enough. Seriously. Alright, let's measure back from here. You, go away. Yeah, if I had... Yeah, dripstone. I don't believe the Wandering Trader trades dripstone. Now, it's entirely possible, but if they don't, I can't do... I can't make a renewable lava source. Not the end of the world. Alrighty, first bit of crops going in. Potatoes with my wheat seed. Carrot. Flowers. Wheat and beetroot. I don't really want beetroot, but anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Carrots. And wheat. Wheat. Carrots. Potato. Hang on. Carrots. Wheat again. Potatoes. Potatoes. Don't you jump on my crops. We'll get some slabs. Like that. Got 19 logs. I want more than that. I need more than that. Oh, fancy. Get away from me. Alright, I now have enough timber to warrant a full stack of charcoal. I still wouldn't mind a bit of variation in tree type. I suppose if I go to the nether. Alright, so into the furnace goes 1 stack of logs, 8 charcoal. That'll give me 64. That'll be enough to do a bunch of stuff with. Alright, now to push these fences out even further. And put in my bubble gen. Okay, we're going to push this side, I think. 1, 2. I hear big clumps. Alright, we'll put it into the... what corner should I put it in? I don't want the donkey to jump on it. Think. Knew that was too close to a destruction. Sorry, the donks a lot. Let's dig down. Okay, you're also coming from a level up. You should be about there. Perfect. Perfect. Well, semi-perfect. Cover that up for now. We should put a torch in underneath. Well, there's enough light coming out of the lava not to worry about it. Because I can always go and get more lava. Oh, I can now start bone mealing. I mean, it would be nice to have a wandering trader drop in, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay, absolute ton of timber. I can get a bow. I don't think I can... Again, I don't think I can do anything with... I can't get string any other way. Trade to a fisherman. Could... Oh, it's a fisherman's trade. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 out. 1, 2, 3 out. 1, 1, 2, 3 out. Lots of timber, lots of timber, lots of timber. Lots of trees. Yeah, what is a... Oh, it's a barrel. The barrel is a fisherman's trade. Work job site. We have sticks. I'm going to turn 1 stack of you into timber. One stack of you. Alright, that's good. Okay, and now we're going to turn in a whole bunch of fencing. I'll make a barrel, make 1. And then a whole bunch of fencing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Alright, so our crops are now safe. Not like that. Now, what I wanted to have for the villager breeder is carrots. I don't know, I've just always found them to be more reliable for making a breeder. I can get enough beds. Beds aren't a problem. I think the only thing I need string for is make a bow and make fishing rod. Now, if I've got a I can trade. I've got a water supply, so I can fish. Can I put slime balls in a composter? I can make a bookshelf. Cool. Composter. What is a composter's? Ah, it's all slabs now. Because if I can actually compost slime balls, then you guys are suddenly... Nope. Damn it. Okay, you found a new use. You're actually valuable, but no. What we'll do though is I'll light up the perimeter. We have enough space to safely farm. Right. Now, this should have the right-click harvest on. It does. 1, 2, and then 3. In fact, I'll borrow you. 3. Alright, next problem. Let's have a think. Still content to sleep where we are like this now. Oh. Oh. You guys are a problem. You're a big problem. I need a shield. I don't have any other armor. I don't have enough for a chest plate either. Gotcha. That was not pleasant. Put my gate back, pull everything down. You're all the way over there. How many dudes? There's 2 dudes. Tempt it? Fighting back across. I didn't get a bow out of them. Would have been nice if I did. Come on. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I was doing so well up to that point. I had my farm going. Where were the bad guys? No. I had a donkey. I had my crops. Oh well, that's what we're going to do next week, I guess. Driving to chat, what a time to finish it, I guess. Alright. Put some tunes on. We'll go there. Alright. Big thank you to everyone coming out tonight. Regulars, first timers, chatters, lurkers, and everybody in between. The game wouldn't be the same. The channels wouldn't be the same without you. So thank you very much for being here. Alright, what do we got next? Well, next thing is I'll find what I'm looking for first. Here we go. Okay, tomorrow night we've got our giveaway. How to be in on that? Head for the Discord. You'll find a channel called Giveaways. Head in there. You'll see a blue button. Click the blue button. Automatically in the draw. This week it's for a copy of Another Crab's Treasure. Tomorrow night's stream, and that'll be drawn before Sunday's stream every week. Not Another Crab's Treasure, but the giveaway will be. This week, Sunday's stream is Deadly Tower of Monsters. That's it. We are doing pretty good. I'm not 100% sure if we'll finish it tomorrow. I'd like to think we will, but don't know. We're making steady progress. Steady progress is better than no progress. And so we look forward to finishing that. Monday night, Mass Effect 2, continuing the trilogy there. We're in the process of picking up our newer party members and doing the loyalty missions of those remaining, and we are fully expecting that all sorts of nasty things are about to happen and upset us. So we'll see how that goes relatively shortly. Wednesday night is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Making good progress there. We're heading into one of the DLC, the winter DLC, and then next Friday we are playing Siberia again, restarting it, this time on hard, and looking at the game list we have, we'll be playing Siberia 1 and 2 over the next little while, and then make a decision from there what we're going to do after that. Okay, other than that, and then next Saturday back here with our multiplayer stream from our SMP server. I'll do a bit on the SMP server, then I'll do another hardcore super flat. That, I mean, obviously didn't work as planned. Would have been good. I guess we'll look at, I mean, at some point we'll do them again, but anyway. Otherwise, it's a very good night from me to all of you. And we'll see you all again next stream.